Hi guys, how's it going?
Hi everyone. Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Damian Legawiec, and I'm the Spree Tech Lead and the CTO at Spark Solutions. I'm joined by Matthew Kennedy, our lead Spree open source developer. And today we would like to present you our vision for the next 12 months of Spree commerce development. We believe that 2021 and 22 will be massive years for both e-commerce and Spree. So let's start with sharing my screen. So before jumping into the future, we would like to briefly touch upon our recent accomplishments and developments. This year, we've released a massive Spree update in the form of Spree 4.2, introducing multi-currency, multi-language, and multi-store to Spree Core, who made Spree a platform of choice for global brands operating anywhere, in any language, and any currency. We've also made sure that the default Spree storefront is fully accessible for anyone. We've greatly investment in the Spree platform this year, and we're going to even surpass it in the following years. The first 6 months of this year alone have seen more contributions than the entire 2020. We're constantly improving the developer tools to make it easier for anyone to contribute to Spree. So let's talk about the future. We believe in making the platform more flexible and easily connected to external services the right direction. We also want to make Spree fun to work for any developers of any programming language and any tech stack. We plan to release 3 more Spree versions this year alone. 4.3, which is in the final stages of development and will be released soon. 4.4, which is a quick follow-up and will also be released in Q3. And finally, 4.5 in December. In 2022, we're making the leap to Spree 5. Spree 5 will not introduce any big breaking changes though. However, in the coming weeks, we'll be introducing a new modular architecture for Spree. Monolith is gone, replaced with a truly API-first, headless and modular approach. Storefront and admin panel will not be part of Spree Core anymore. And it will be possible to upgrade Core and API without the need to upgrade Storefront or admin dashboard, which we've heard was troublesome in the past. We're also doubling down on our reliance on the Rails framework, so this should make future updates a lot easier. Thanks to these changes, we're giving more freedom of choice to developers to pick their own storefront. And actually, we're working on several of these. The first one that will be available in Q3 is the Hotwire storefront, which will be distributed as an NPM package, and will eventually replace the current default Rails storefront. We're also working on integrating with third-party storefronts, such as excellent Next.js commerce and Vue Storefront 2. Last but not least, front-end developers will be able to use REST or GraphQL to build their own custom storefronts. Another key piece of this new architecture is Platform API, an OAuth authenticated application platform for developers to create apps or integrations in any programming language. Platform API will completely supersede API v1 and will also power the admin panel. That's also going to be part of Spree 4.3 a few weeks from now. The last piece of the puzzle is webhooks, which are coming in Spree 4.4. This will help integrate Spree with more third-party services. As with Platform API, you can work with webhooks with any technology stack of your choice. We're also working on Zapier Integration, which will allow users to connect Spree to hundreds of vendors without the need for any custom development at all. And since Spree 4.2, we've worked hard to eliminate all mundane tasks for any Spree developer out there, so you could focus on your business critical features. This includes custom product filters, which are now fully manageable through the admin UI, metadata support to create custom attributes for resources such as orders, users, products on the fly, and a built-in CMS for navigation, homepage, and collections. We would especially like to show you the last one. Matthew will guide us through this new amazing piece of software. So take it away, Matthew.
Thank you, Damian. So I'm Matthew. I've been working on some new features that are arriving in Spree 4.3, and I'd like to share those with you now. So if you take a look at the screen, you will see a standard admin interface for Spree, which will recognize the orders panel. But now we have new content panel, and under this we have navigation and pages. So let's take a look at pages first. So when we look at pages, we have three types of pages. We have home pages, standard pages, and feature pages. So first off, let's look at standard pages. So when you go to edit a standard page, you have a nice rich text editor that allows you to edit all the HTML attributes and add tables. And also you can get to the code if you need to edit the HTML really easily. So that's a great feature. We'll try to keep this as clean as possible, so you at least distractions as possible. But if you need to get to more settings, you can set this page by store. You can set it by language, and you can always change the slug and add SEO meta title and description, which is very useful. But we've also got the reminder that you're working for this page in English and for the demo site. So that's a really clean UI for the standard pages. Let's take a look at what this looks like on the front end. So as you can see, it's really clear and readable and all nicely formatted. I'll just show you what a privacy policy would look like, and a mock privacy policy with a bit more content. So as you can see, really well formatted. So that's a basic standard page, and that's really nice. So let's now take a look at home pages. So when you go to edit a home page, you will notice it's slightly different. What we have here is a live view editor. So this represents the home page on the front end, what the customer sees. And this is made up of sections. So here you see we have a best sellers carousel that we can move this up to the top by drag and drop and place that above the homepage hero. I don't know why that might be wanted, but I'll put it back. And as you can see, all live reloads. The live preview also does mobile view, tablet view, and desktop. And there is also a full screen mode if you're working in restricted space. And so let's take a look at what this homepage looks like on the front end. Here you can see it's kind of just exactly what we've just been looking at. But we can also go into a draft mode. So if you're working on this page, changing the products and stuff, you will now see we've got a draft mode indication at the bottom of the screen. So as an admin, you will see the draft mode indicator here. But as a viewing customer who's not an admin, you will be prompted with the "we will be back" message. So that's nice. And you can edit your homepage without people seeing what's going on as you change the context. And let's have a look at the more settings. Obviously, we don't have a slug for the homepage, but as you'll notice, you've got languages for homepages and stores. So let's now take a look at the homepages in different languages. Here we have the French version of a homepage, and you'll notice it's different. So let's check this out, how it works on the homepage. Let's just refresh that first, get the draft mode away, and look at the French language version. As you can see, the French homepage loads up lovely, and all got the French menus. Perfect. So that's the home pages. Let's go have a look at feature pages. So feature pages are like home pages in the respect that you've got the sections, but they also have a slug. So you can create feature-rich pages that have unique selling points. So let's take a look at this page on the front end. As you can see, this is a feature page for the alpaca jumper. And we have some selling points for this. So it's made of wool and other things. It's available in pastel colors and some more information. But we also have a buy bar at the top here. So you can put in a sizing guide for this garment, washing instructions, whatever the product may be. These are very useful. And then link to buy the product. And there you have your configurator, add to cart. So feature pages are very useful. If you have a complex product, you want to get more of a sell across, rather than just text, you want to get some real rich content across. So that's great. And that's feature pages. So that kind of covers the pages section, but all these pages are only so good if you can link to them. So there we have navigation. So if you look at the Spree store, you'll recognize the main menu across the top here. We've got men, women, and sportswear. Let's have a look at that in menu form. So here we see this menu is called the main menu. It's in the demo store, and it's language English, and it's in the header location. And you'll see men is at the top and women further down. These are all drag and droppable sections. So these now reload on the front end. Women should jump to the front there. And the same is true for the nested objects. Let's move the promotions before the categories. There we go. And so these, you can build really powerful menus in Spree. And you can also link to, let's show you what it looks like to link. You've got the title up here of the link. And here you can add images, mainly useful for promotions, but you could also design your own menus that have image in other places. You can link to home pages, external URLs, products, or taxons. Let's just link to a random taxon. Link to women and update that. And you're presented with the slug there, so you can see exactly where you're linking. So with the addition of pages and menus, you get two great powerful features coming in Spree. And let's now take a look at what's available through the API for these. So here we are in Postman. Let's have a look at menus. So here we're looking at the footer menu through the API. So I've just sent a request and we've got back, let's have a look. We've got the includes. The attributes is the footer menu, location footer in English, and the includes are the menu items. So as you can see, we've got a link about us, and we have a link to the privacy policy down here, all accessible. We've also got the positions, depth of nesting and left and right, so you can build those on your own custom websites with all the data. That's great. Let's have a look at pages with sections. So this would be the alpaca wool overview page, including the CMS sections. So let's have a quick look at the attributes. Alpaca wool is the overview, is the title of this page, and there's a slug. And then let's have a look at the includes. So we've got some image links and information, but one of the most interesting ones is the article here, showing the title, subtitle, button text, and the content, which would look like this on the home page. So as you can see, you can pull through all the data of all the sections, and they're all rearrangeable. So you can also use them through the API, and a standard page, which is very simple. So we've got the content, the title. As you can see, we've got the rich text content coming through, the slug, and the store it belongs to. All the data you need to work from the API. So yeah, I hope you like these new features that are coming in Spree 4.3. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. So I'll hand you back over to Damian, if that's okay.
Thank you, Matthew. That looks awesome. And by the way, this will be part of the Spree 4.3, which will be released in coming weeks. So let's move on to some other exciting news. And I'm gonna share my screen again. So we've talked about a lot of developer experience, and that is our key focus for the remainder of this year. Starting from 2022 and Spree 5.0, we're planning several huge business-oriented features. The first one is marketplaces, which have seen a huge gain in popularity over the past year. We already have an excellent multi-vendor extension, and moving forward, we would like to pull it into the Spree core and greatly expand its feature set with Stripe Connect integration and bulk product catalog import-export out of the box. B2B is another segment that we would like to introduce to Spree core. We want Spree to be a multi-purpose e-commerce platform serving the needs of different type of customers. B2B is one of the key trends in e-commerce that has risen to prominence last year. Based on our experience of working on several huge B2B projects in the last few months, we're planning to fully support this business model in Spree 5.0 out of the box. And finally, first-class subscription support is also down the line. This will be a payment processor agnostic and will come with a Stripe billing integration pre-built. Other payment processors will follow. You will also be easily able to develop your own payment integrations yourself. And as always, there is one more thing, which in our case is a managed cloud service built on top of Spree with additional enterprise-grade features. Early next year, we will invite first customers to a private beta of this new product. This service will be fully optional and will not interfere with our open source development. Spree is and will continue to be a free open source software. So that's our wrap.
Thank you, gentlemen. And I'm sure everybody's getting all excited about the upcoming Spree features in the next and the following releases. And maybe we can take some questions from the audience. So maybe starting from the bottom. Do you guys plan to support JS implementation instead of Ruby? It's a question from Pap.
So definitely for the storefront. So we're planning to integrate Vue Storefront and Next.js commerce. So the storefront part, definitely JavaScript implementations working with GraphQL or REST API.
So a question from Chen Fu Chen. With the headless approach, do you think about serverless architecture and NoSQL? Have you guys considered it in the future?
Yes, so we're thinking about serverless and just putting Spree as in AWS app runner or other services similar. So we're thinking about it, and it's on our mind and our roadmap.
All right, excellent. And now the questions keep on coming. So another one, can you speak a bit more about the platform API, what this will be and how this will work?
So this will be a new API that will completely replace API v1 with a lot of more API endpoints. It's going to be a much bigger and more flexible API that will give you actually the power to manage any resource on the Spree platform without any restrictions. And this will be an all-out authenticated API, so you could create apps that can only read a portion of the data or do a read-write for all of the resources or mix and match. So this will allow to create third-party apps that actually talk to Spree, pull the data or push any data. So usually those are like apps that integrate with a warehouse management system, ERP, or other stuff that currently you need to have Ruby knowledge to actually extend Spree, talk with those services. Now you can just talk to the API and write it in any programming language you would like.
Great. So now we can say just talk to the API. And maybe another question from Lawrence. Are you planning on supporting multi-tenant setup either on schema or multi-database?
So we're building that Spree cloud as a multi-tenant application. However, the Spree open source will still have the multi-store, which will be enhanced also in Spree 4.3. That will allow you to actually switch between stores. You will be able to create admin users that have access only to a specific store and specific resources. So you could actually achieve some of multi-tenancy with the Spree out-of-the-box setup.
Another question is there any plan to introduce different default themes having multiple designs? From Umar.
So we've got the default theme for the default storefront, which is quite easy to customize through CSS variables. And also it's going to be way easier to customize it through the admin UI in both in Spree 4.2 and 4.3. So that's for the default storefront. there's going to be those other storefronts that you can customize, and probably there will be multiple themes for example, for Vue Storefront or Next.js commerce that are already available and will be available in the future.
See another question from Brian. It sounds like with B2B and marketplace, this opens up Spree for things like procurement systems for businesses. Would you agree?
Exactly. That's actually the case. That's what we've seen in the few past months, and the projects that we've worked on, and so projects that actually use Spree. The procurement services, procurement marketplaces are quite big, and based on experience working with those projects, we're planning to build it more in a more universal core that will be bundled with Spree.
Excellent. So another question from Brian: will the scenario I mentioned be able to support multi-price lists per item per vendor? So we're talking about that prior question about marketplace.
Yep, that's the case.
All right. Another question from Wojciech. There were 3 types of pages mentioned by Matthew, and I wonder if they include option to edit PLP, PDP, or is it planned for the future?
I think that'll be a plan for the future. It's just a case of designing the sections. So yeah, I think that'll probably be a plan for the future.
Yeah,
shouldn't be a problem. The sections are really easy to build, and I can link to an extension if anyone interested in adding their own extensions via Spree. Sorry, their own sections via Spree extension. That's really easy to do, so I can link to that on GitHub.
Can you talk more about the Spree Cloud? Will there be closed source development alongside the open source project, or is it more like enterprise level support? What will it look like?
So actually, that's going to be the last one, the Spree as a service, which is a nice acronym. I actually haven't thought about it earlier. So yes, there will be some closed source development. However, we aim to have 95% of the source code to be open source. So we're seeing this as an opportunity to actually contribute more to the Spree core. So the development of the cloud service is gonna contribute a lot to the Spree core as well, and that's so 95% it's gonna be open source. There will be still some closed source like accounting, billing, and that kind of stuff, but we're aiming to open source most of it.
Another question: do you plan to publish the new upcoming APIs for multi-vendor for developer comments from Tesh?
So the multi-vendor extension, the recent release, it also includes API endpoints for both API v1 and API for the Storefront API. The platform API will also be supported in that extension until it's going to be pulled into the Spree core. So all of it. So any change going further in the future, it's going to be always presented in the platform API or Storefront API.
All right. Where can anyone give suggestions at the business level for future Spree improvements and features? And I guess that's a question I can answer. Feel free to connect with the core team on Spree Slack. We're monitoring it daily. Feel free to drop us an email through the Spree website. And all of these improvements and all of these features are a result of user feedback, contributor feedback, of several conversations that we've had over the years with people developing and using Spree. So we want to empower all of you to shape the future of Spree in terms of features, in terms of architecture, in terms of integrations. And as you can see, the guys are doing a terrific job to, for example, empower the marketing people to manage the Spree pages. And it's a trend of just low code or no code, just empowering people to do what they need to do without the developers changing the copy or the banners, right? I wanted to know if there is in your roadmap the decoupling of the admin panel to go fully headless from Bastian.
Yeah, so that will happen in Spree 4.3 actually. So so the admin panel will you will be able to install Spree without the admin panel, or for example, if you have Spree 4.3 and you would like to move to 4.4, you could still stay on your 4.3 admin panel. So those will be decoupled. There won't be any version restrictions that require from you the update of that module as well.
Ooh, I saw a question earlier by Jorge Dominguez, and that was, how do you learn Spree? And I would say go on the Spree Slack channel, speak to people who, if you've got any questions, get involved there, and just get involved, really. The documentation is great, so check out Spree documentation, get involved in the Slack channel. Loads of helpful advice on there, and just don't be afraid to fire up a copy of Spree and get coding, get designing, and if you get stuck, ask a question. And before you know it, you'll have solved your problems, will be on your way. So yeah, that's the easiest way to learn Spree, I would say.
We're available on Slack, so just feel free to join us there and talk to us there.